Good evening, Wanderers. Welcome to the Wondering Hour with Mom and Dad, a cozy corner of the night where your questions drift in like lanterns, and together we follow wherever they glow.
Happy to have you back. I'm excited to be here. Jumping right in, my first question for the night is, if you could choose your last words, what would they be?
Morbid question, funny question.
Fun question for the first words of the night.
Yeah.
So,
ironic.
Easy enough. I have the perfect answer for this. And Oscar Wilde already did it. And it's either this wallpaper goes or I do. And man, if I don't go out with like that gusto, if it's not those exact words, like that is the vibe that I'm going for.
Yeah.
I'm here for the impact.
I don't have a really good answer for this question. Sadly, I think that it would be funny to do the, like, I left my worldly treasure at the, but I don't know. I think I would much prefer to go out with something more profound than that. I think in that moment, silliness kind of takes a back seat.
You're more sentimental than I am.
I know.
I want it to be funny.
No.
And not even, it doesn't have to be funny. I want it to be really dramatic.
Yeah.
That's how I'm going on.
We've talked about it a lot. I'm not a big guy for like funerals. I'm much more a supporter of like the celebration of life type thing, and I know that's all semantics. It's how you approach the event. But I think that it kind of softens the blow when you go out saying something silly, and that's kind of why I want to. But also, I think that the rest of my life will have spoken for itself at that point, and in a perfect world, everybody would have enough good memories of me to where I can say something meaningful in that moment, and it wouldn't really like drown out the good and the silly that I was.
That's crazy. That was a great answer. I wish I had something fun and meaningful to say in this moment. But I can't, so I guess I don't expect it in my last ones either. You get what you get. I hope the rest was okay.
Yeah, and it's just a lot. Again, it's pretty heavy to think about what you would want your last words to be.
Yeah, I guess I always think of this question in a joking way. So seriously, yeah, I guess I never thought about it, so...
Yeah, again, I think as a joke, what I would say to this question, if anybody asked me, is, I left my greatest treasure under the blah, 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 and then I'm dead. But, yeah, what I would actually do is very much not that.
I think I would accidentally just be, like, swearing about something. Like, I trip over a big log, and it's like, oh, no, explicit word here.
Yeah.
And then I fall down a hill.
No. A la Black Sheep with Chris Farley.
Yeah. So... that's how I imagine going out, I guess. So, before we get into the next question, Wonders, don't forget to follow us on Spotify so you never miss a question. And if you want the extra moments, the cut questions, the cozy chaos, and the memories, come find us on TikTok and YouTube. We'd love to have you there. Keep wondering with us.
All right, then on to the next question. Do you have a calling in your life?
I also feel like this is kind of a deep question because, I want to say being a mom and teaching and writing is a big calling for me, and like there's so many good answers. I think my biggest calling is just like crafts.
Yeah.
That's my general answer. I just want to be a crafty person and do crafty things. And that's what I'm called to as a person.
I think you get a lot of that from your mom and your grandma on your dad's side.
Yeah, they're crafty.
Yeah, I think that your family, I think, is full of crafters in one way, shape, or form.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think
it's the same. Yeah, both my aunts.
Yeah,
I get that. So that's a big thing for me.
Yeah.
All the other stuff is also cool and does call me, but maybe not in a yelling voice.
Yeah, and again, I think the blanket statement of parent That's definitely a calling. And I think for me, I'm at a point in my life, and this is kind of weird to say, where I'm just doing the best I can for my family. Like, I really, really enjoy what I do. Don't get me wrong. Don't think for a second that I don't enjoy my job. I think that that's key, and I think that that is something that so many people get wrong. Is like, even if it doesn't super pay well or whatever, like, you should still enjoy your job. Now, there's a caveat to that. If it's like an insane amount of money, like high 6-figure salary, like, sure, dude, hate your life while you're at work and spend all that money on your time off, awesome. But if you're just like middle class American, especially now, just doing what you can to get by, hating your life is not the way. Hating your life at work is not the way.
I teach for the money and the fame. Yeah. You should know that about me.
But I don't think, other than those blanket statements, I don't think I have like a calling in my life. There are things that I really enjoy doing, gaming, whatever, all that stuff. But there's nothing that, like, I wouldn't have a good answer for this question. Again, because I like parenting. Being the best dad I could be to both our kids, I think, is a consistent trial for me, and something I'm constantly working towards. But yeah, I don't think that my current work is my calling.
They'd never make them want a movie about you.
No. The water, it calls me. Yeah, no, sadly I don't have a good answer for this. I'm just a person trying to do the best for their family, and I think that would be the closest answer I have to this, is just trying to make the best life for my family that I can, and that would be my calling.
I mean, I can't complain. Yeah. And I think that's a good answer. Not that you have to justify those to me. So, all right. Well then, have you ever let someone win an argument even if you knew you were right? And if so, who?
I am a married man, so I don't think anybody
You are?
who has been married and is the masculine part of the relationship can say no to this question. No, that being said,
I don't think that may win.
There's people that you try and have an intelligent conversation with, or debate, or in this case argument, like the question is asking, and it devolves into not that, and then it's just most wise to walk away regardless of what that means.
Yeah. You can't change everyone's mind.
No, there's some people that don't want to be changed. There are some people that need a certain level of evidence or whatever that you may not have it, that whatever. And in those moments, yeah, it's just walk away. It's not worth the fight. It's be true to you and hold your values dear. But yeah, it's not your job to change anybody else's opinion. It's not your job to make them come to your side of the disagreement. If they're not here for it, then just move on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, like, I have a lot of people in my life and in my family who are not, they're always going to have the other point of view, like, no matter what the point of view is. Mm-hmm. And so those are most of my arguments where I'm just like, I'm not here to win this. I'm not here to convince you. I have my point of view and you have yours, and that's that. Thank you.
I think there are also a lot of people that are just kind of contrarian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The people that just like to either like play devil's advocate. I'm really good at that. Not in like I go out of my way to take the opposite stance on everything, but to take a step back when I'm having a conversation, especially a conversation with someone who is like-minded, to take a step back and think about the opposite point of view.
Yeah.
But there are people that live for that's just what they do, that's what they are, that's how they kind of interact with the world. Is whatever view you have, I have the opposite, and now we're going to debate about it, regardless of how much information I have on the topic. And that's fair, and again, that's one of those things that you're not going to change them. Identifying those people and knowing that they exist and all that, I think, is key to kind of moving forward in that instance.
Yeah.
And allowing them.
And I feel like agreeing to disagree is a very valid thing to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially on things where, like, in math, in almost every instance, there is a correct answer.
Yeah.
In, like, English, in, like, high school or whatever, like, you can write a sentence that has nothing wrong with it in English, but it's not the most correct version of that sentence.
That's a crazy thing.
Yeah. So there are things that, there is a black and white. You can look at an answer and be like, that is correct or that is wrong. And there are so many things that live in this world of more correct, less correct, or this is correct, and there is also other correct options. And I think that's an interesting bit about being human. But yeah, that's also, just because someone doesn't hold the same view as you doesn't mean they're automatically wrong or whatever.
Yeah. So I don't think, there's again, not every argument has to have a winner.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
They're just people sharing information in a heated tone.
Yeah. Yeah. And to kind of go along with that, a side point for me that I'd like to inject here, never be the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
That's something that you and I hold very dear. Of if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to find a different room, because then you stop growing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's doesn't exactly fit here, but
no, I think it does. I mean, absolutely. Like, I feel like every argument is an opportunity to, like, learn more about someone else, and why they may have a view that you might not. And in reflection, that's such a great thing to be able to do, and to be mindful of. Hey, yeah, what I learned from you by putting myself in your shoes, that kind of stuff. And again, if you think you're smarter than everyone else, well, that's a weird spot to be.
Yeah. Definitely find a different room to continue that growth that you can reach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And welcome to the episode.
Yeah. It's all heavy questions. Do you think you could ever be a medical guinea pig?
I'm hoping this is a lighter question, and no.
I don't think it is. We're staying heavy.
No, I don't think so. I don't think I'd want to do that. I feel like if I was, like, in college and I was, like, had money, I needed money, and I didn't have kids and other things in my life, it's like, sure, I got time. But
yeah, and I think that there are two ways to look at this question. Like, would you ever volunteer to be a medical guinea pig? And, like, would you ever take or undergo an experimental treatment for something that you have?
Well, now the question did get heavier.
Yeah. So yeah, I think, like, would I ever be a medical guinea pig in that, like, I'm volunteering for, like, we want to test out this goop that you put on your skin and see what the side effects are. See if it makes it softer, scaly, or whatever. If the price is right, 100% I could do that. I have no quarrel with that. As long as everything is kind of clearly laid out, and again, the price is right. But I'm very much for experimental treatment for something that I have. You and I have had this conversation. If my odds are ever less than a coin flip, just like I'm uninterested in whatever. If I can't flip a coin and determine positive or negative outcome, That's whatever. I'll just hang out until I'm no longer hanging out. But yeah, if that increases the prognosis to 75-25, whatever, definitely here for it.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to change my answer to that answer. That's a much better answer than what I had. And yeah, I suppose you got me there. I feel like, yeah, the right circumstances.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay.
Yeah, and it's kind of a cop-out if the price is right, because there's a lot of stuff that you would do.
Yeah.
Whatever, if someone was offering you $1 million to whatever. I think especially middle-class America would be hard-pressed unless it was, like, really bad stuff to turn down. Like, here's a check for $1 million, I just need you to do X.
Yeah.
If it was a reasonable thing, again, like, here, put this cream on for a year and see how it affects your skin. And I know that that's an outrageous amount of number, or an outrageous amount of money for a medical trial. I get that, but also showing that it's a cop-out if the price is right.
Yeah.
Because what does that mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff I do for $1 million right now. And there's a lot of stuff that I'm sure a lot of people do for $1 million right now.
Yeah, you got me there. Yeah. So just copy that part of the podcast and put that over my answer and pretend I said it.
Up a little
I
bit.
said it first. Perfect. Well, oh gosh, okay. What is the most annoying thing about the opposite sex?
This is such a loaded question. We got away from the heavy questions. We're now into the loaded section.
Oh,
loaded question section.
I'm going to say they're right.
I would say the most annoying thing about the opposite sex for me is I am dumb. So, in many cases, I feel like more so than my sex. There are codes and tones and things like that I just don't pick up on.
The nuances.
Yes. And that's very frustrating for me. I'm very face value. If you tell me, I'm trying to be better, but like if you tell me everything's okay, then I'm inclined to just be like, everything's okay.
Yeah, got it.
Because I'm so much here for, I'm a fixer, so I'm so much here for the fixing. If you had a problem that you wanted fixing, you have no problem asking me for like, hey, this cupboard door is a little bit wobbly, can you tighten that? If you're asking me for stuff like that for free, then why wouldn't you also ask me for, like, if I was like, hey, what's wrong? Why would you also not just tell me the thing that is wrong so I can try and fix it? And that's also a flaw, because not all the time people want fixing. Sometimes they just want venting or someone to listen to them, type stuff, and that's, so I'm very dumb, and I think that's the most annoying thing about the opposite sex for me is because they don't cater to my dumbness.
I like to think I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah. I would also, and I think that's why we're married. Who knew I just needed someone to treat me like a kindergartner every now and then when I'm just like, what?
Everyone in my life is a kindergartner, and I will treat them accordingly. So, and I have no issues asking 15 times to put your shoes on, so we're good there. Yeah, I don't know. These questions. I think my answer would probably is again kind of a cop-out, but just in general, like toxic masculinity.
Yeah,
I feel like there's a way to do it wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like the peacocking that kind of goes into like being.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just such an ick for you.
It really is.
It's not like and I don't want to mansplain your own feelings to you.
No, please do.
for the world to hear. I just feel like that's such an ick for you. Like.
Yeah.
The measuring contests that go into all that's just not your vibe.
No, I agree. That's no, thank you for laying that out for me, because now I don't need to. We crushed it. We're good to go here. Yeah, I think that's the flat answer. That's the one I'm going to be taking. And Ugh, that don't impress me much, you know?
Yeah, there's definitely easier answers, blanket answers, whatever, that you can dip into here, and it's very personal to us. I think what upsets us about the opposite sex. All right, on to the next question. How do you feel about investing your money?
I think it's a good idea, and I'd like to do it someday.
Yeah, and man, I hate to keep going back to this, but yeah, like middle class America.
No, you don't.
It's just hard right now. All the things, gas prices spiking right now, almost $1 over the last 2 weeks is crazy. I'm sure more in some areas and less in some other areas, but it would be cool to just be able to be like, yeah, here's this $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 that I have access to, that I don't need access to for the next 30 years. Take it, invest it, grow it for me. And that's just not something that everybody has access to. Kind of not living paycheck to paycheck so much, but yeah, definitely paying attention to what comes in and what goes out. It's hard to have that money left over I'm sure over time we could get there.
Yeah.
If that was something that we really, really wanted to do. And yeah, it's a fun concept. I really enjoy learning about it. I'm not like any one of those stock bros that's like, have you heard about whatever stock code that I can't make up off the top of my head right now? It's really blowing up right now. But yeah, saving money, the old pay yourself first movement, anything even $10, you should be able to save $10 a paycheck. That's crazy if you can't. But all those things are very fun to think about in theory, and then we just haven't gotten around to actually doing anything about it.
Someday.
Yeah.
A good idea. I'd like to be a part of it someday.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Awesome. Okay, finally.
Yes.
A lightened question. Oh, I've been dying for one of these. How do you like to take your coffee or tea?
I'm not a tea guy. So first off, I'm not a tea guy. That being said, there is a tea that I found, I think, last winter that is so good. It's like a cinnamony type spicy tea, and with a little bit of honey and a little bit of creamer. It is very, very good. I don't know the brand off the top of my head, and also they're not sponsoring us, so I wouldn't shout them out if I did.
Well, feel free to sponsor us if you'd like us to shout you out here.
Yeah, that is the only tea so far that I found that I also have not delved into the tea world of actual real life tea, where it's the leaves and stuff like that. It's all been tea bags from Walmart, so I also don't have a very good gauge there. But as for my coffee, there's really dark roast. I enjoy dark roast coffee. I enjoy it black or with a little bit of sugar. And it's weird because the boy also snagged that taste from me, which is wild.
Yeah. Don't let your toddlers drink coffee. They don't recommend it, and no. It was an oopsie.
Yeah.
But he loved it, which was crazy, because I
Yeah,
definitely say he eats more like me.
We were going through Target or something like that, and we had gotten our Starbies, and we'd gotten him his child's temp, just hot milk or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then, my cup was in the cart, and he just snagged a sip of my cold brew, and he was in love. And I'm like,
he still pretends to make coffee.
Yeah, that's wild, bro. You should definitely try Mom's coffee if you like mine.
He has, and he does.
Yeah, and the boy loves. I don't know.
Coffee guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I definitely black, or maybe with a little bit of sugar. That bitter wakes you up in the morning. and I appreciate it for that.
I think that's crazy and disgusting.
Yeah.
I like to say that I like my coffee as close to chocolate milk as possible. I want chocolate milk with a hint of espresso in it. Mm-hmm. That's the drink. So I will put as much creamer and as much sugar as I can. I want a light looking drink every time.
Very much a do you want some coffee with your creamer type of a question.
Just give me the creamer and bring the coffee over and just a smudge pitcher and
just walk the coffee by my cup of creamer.
That's what I'm looking for. Yes. Tea, I don't do a whole lot with it. I don't really like a bitter taste, and tea is just as blandness to me. I love like a chai tea.
Yeah. If that counts.
If that counts. But yeah, so I don't have a lot of input on tea, unfortunately. I've had teas that I like. I just never get enough good tea to have opinions about the tea.
Yeah, and that like there's a tea
sweet.
Yeah, there's a tea guy on like TikTok that when his stuff rolls up on my For You page, I just get stun locked by it, and I'm like watching this tea content, even though I'm like uninterested, and like to go to his like tea shop online and like look at the prices for like good tea, I'm just like, oh, nope, not for me.
Yeah, tea's not a hobby I'll be indulging in.
And that's like just for the tea leaves, not to mention like if you're trying to do the thing and you get all your tea pets and all, it's just like no. I'm not here for all that.
Yeah.
But
I would agree.
Yeah, I'm definitely more of an energy drink kind of person.
No,
as
I'm
a whole.
the worst. There are days where I get there and I'm like, how much water to Alani ratio have I had today?
Oops, all Alani.
So.
All right, next question. How smart is your significant other, and who is smarter?
Log back on later for the answer. No, I think that you are very smart. I don't have a good qualifier for that, but I mean, I think the best way to, and who is smarter is like a
it's so tough
question, because I think we have smarts that really complement each other.
Yeah.
Where you are more, logical and like, I try to think of like when you assemble furniture and things, and like you approach it much differently than I would. And again, I think that like those are things, you're more strategic than I am. Like those are things that complement my opposites.
Yeah. I would 100% agree. I don't know that I have, my gut reaction is you're smarter, because like smart is cool, smart is fine, smart is whatever. But if you can't convey that in a meaningful way, I'm not a good teacher. I've said on multiple occasions that my version of teaching is saying something louder and slower until the other person understands. And that's not good. That's not a good teacher. That's not someone you want teaching you. And if you can't get that across, if you can't teach anybody what's in your head, are you really all that smart? Does that make sense? Like, you can have all the knowledge, but I think true intelligence is being able to pass that on. True intelligence is being able to give somebody else everything that you are and have.
Teaching is a sign of mastery.
Yeah, and I don't have that, and you do. So I think that
that's why I teach littles, because that's all I can master. You need me to count to 20? I'm yours.
Yeah, so I think that the answer to who is smarter is you, and it's still like you said, we have such differing areas of expertise, because I have like, if you need me to go to bar trivia, I'm there.
Oh no! Yeah.
If you need useless information,
don't invite me to bar trivia.
Whatever, I'm definitely there. My brain is chock full of just like nothing burgers of a lot, surface level information of a lot of different topics. And I think that you have an expertise that I don't have.
What a nice thing to say to me.
And so, yeah, again, I would say that you're smarter, and yeah, I think we complement each other so well in our intelligences that, yeah, I think that that's one of the things that I feel makes us very strong as a couple, is we don't have very much areas of overlap, which makes it
You're just gonna have to take my word on that.
Yeah, which is gonna sound weird because it makes it almost seem like we just have nothing in common, but that's not the case. I think a game, whatever, but yeah, there's, as far as our actual intelligences go, I feel like our depths, we have very little overlap in our deep knowledges.
We are a very well-rounded, single-minded person.
Yeah, but in two bodies. If you put us together,
like that
you have one
monster from
intelligence.
Monsters Inc. And it's where the two halves. That's how I define us.
Yep. Yeah. No, I definitely. Yep.
Well, that was a really nice thing to say. I guess I won't argue with you. So if this fly would shoo, that would be really nice. Okay. Backing up. Thank you. Oh, good. I like this question. What's your preferred swimming stroke?
Back to the heavy questions.
This one gets deep, guys, in the water.
This one, I remember answering this question in the book, and there are very few questions that I remember answering in the book. And my answer in the book is the tickle tea touch. And I remember having to explain to you exactly what that was because you had no idea what that was. And I have no good way of conveying that in a completely audio media.
You can show us.
No. I have no good way of conveying that. But I'm sure if you look it up, you'll get there. But for me, that stroke is just so calming. It doesn't require your legs at all. You're just back floating in the water, and then you're only moving your arms. And like, if you just have still water, it's just like, what a cool way to locomote through the water.
Okay, can you show me real quick though what it is?
No.
Because my answer is going to be back float, but now is that supposed to be the same thing as your thing?
No. Like, arguably, back float is not like a swimming stroke. That is just how that's just how you exist in the water.
Yeah, nope, that's my answer. My favorite yoga pose is Shavasana. Ask me more about how much I enjoy cardio.
So, yeah, that's fair. I'm not gonna hound you on that answer, but yeah,
that would be moving in the back float.
The tickle tea touch would be pretty much like whatever you think of, like only moving your arms.
Yeah.
How to like?
Is it like a bird flap?
Kind of. It's so you have your arms by your side.
Okay. And
then you raise your hands up along your body to your armpits. That's tickle.
Snap. Exactly.
Yeah. And then you put your arms straight out at the shoulders, and then you bring your arms back down to your side.
Oh.
And that's the tickle tea touch.
Yeah, no. Alright. That's the craziest name I've ever heard in my life. But
yeah, I was also like 4 at swimming lessons, so they can't call it the super duper back float extraordinaire special move.
They should. They'll learn it.
But that's not, because again, it feels like to me super low energy, and again, you're just existing in water. I'm not one that like loves water. We've talked about that a lot. Not a water boy. But again, if you're in like a still body of water, just floating around, very nice way to get around. Very chill. I enjoy it. Yeah.
I feel it.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Next question is, have you ever had something snowball out of control? If so, what?
I feel like my blanket statement answer for this is life.
Yeah. They're both in good and bad ways, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think like 2019 to 2020 was a really wild time for me where I felt like my life had crumbled and was restarted.
Yep.
So that's an answer that kind of stands out to me right away, is where, yeah, I had to start over from the bottom up, and that felt like it snowballed into a wild time, and it was great in a lot of reasons, because I feel like then after that our life kind of snowballed into what it is. And so yeah, in good and in bad, for sure. But that's my answer.
Yeah,
life sounds vague, but I got specifics.
Yeah, no, I think I would have to agree, because right around the same time frame, yeah, I was also in a state of great upheaval, and everything was getting away from me, moving home and stuff like that. And you have to carry that momentum into us, and keep rolling, this time up the mountain instead of down it.
Just a bit of a valley,
Yeah,
if you will.
It was just, life is, there's so much to life that does just get out of control. I think when I first got into Magic the Gathering,
Fun swerve.
is like a very specific thing that me and a buddy got back into. I got him into Magic the Gathering. I got back into Magic the Gathering. And then we would look at decks online and then buy all the cards for those decks, and we'd also go to the card shop and buy boxes of cards, and then we'd also try and build decks. So all the decks that we'd find online, one of us would pilot those, and then another one would try and make, the other person would be playing a deck that we were working on to beat the decks that everybody was playing online, to kind of counter the meta, is what they call it. So that got really crazy, because it was just a site. We would go to Friday Night Magic, see all the decks that everybody played, go home that night and build decks to counter the ones that people were playing at Friday Night Magic, and then we'd test all week and make the best version of the best deck that we found to counter those decks, and then show up the next week at Friday Night Magic and do that. And all this time we'd also be spending money on cards, and that snowballed out of control for me.
This answer spiraled out of control for me.
I don't even know what language you're speaking.
Well, I just blacked out for 2 minutes.
That was a very specific instance of something that snowballed out of control for me, and it was probably 6 to 8 months where it was just, we would go to Friday Night Magic, and then every bit of off time that we had together was spent preparing for the next Friday Night Magic, and then we'd go, and then we'd prepare, and then we'd go, and then we'd prepare, and we'd be buying cards, and with rotation happening, we'd rotate out cards, and it was...
So, bonus question for you. What night do you have Magic?
Not anymore. Our local card shop here doesn't do Friday Night Magic.
But we will be petitioning for it soon. So.
That was a very specific instance of something that snowballed out of control, though.
That's so funny. All right, I love that. Okay. Oh, goodness. What is the likelihood you'll make the half court at a game for some serious cash?
This one is so wild. What a silly question to have amongst... There's silly questions here, but to have amongst... What do you want your last words to be? Do you think you may have more shot for money? I don't. I think that it would... Very slim, to say the least. I think I haven't tried a half-court shot probably since high school. I don't know the last time I stepped foot on a basketball court. I could probably get the ball to the rim distance-wise. My accuracy, I'm sure, is absolutely all over the place. So yeah, I wouldn't be bringing home any money. Don't expect that. Also,
I do have expectations now.
You
actually
wouldn't probably find me at a basketball game. I think basketball is pretty boring.
Now all of our basketball fans
Yeah.
are gonna have
Sorry,
something
guys.
to say.
Yeah. Hit me up on the email. I'd love to talk with you.
Maybe it could be Friday Night Basketball. I'm going to give this a whopping 0% chance. I think realistically that is a good answer. I know you could say 0.000, and no. I don't even think I could throw the ball at five.
Yeah, and that I'm not trying to slight you. I feel like there are many people.
I am feeling slighted.
I feel like there are many people that just don't understand how far a half-court shot is.
Yeah.
You can see it on your little box that's hanging on your wall and be like, I can make that. And then you get set up in front of a stadium full of fans cheering or shout or whatever, and you have this I feel like and I don't know with 100% confidence that I could throw the basketball that far. I could probably do it, but again, my accuracy would be wildly inaccurate.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's just so many people that I don't think could even make the distance if they needed to.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. So, poor chances. Don't expect that from me.
No. Again, I don't think I'll catch you at a basketball game ever, unless it's one of the boys or the girls growing up. So
yeah, if they're into that sort of thing. I've seen him play basketball. I'm not that worried.
He's a short king, that one for sure.
You know what? He plays basketball in the bathtub, and his accuracy is room for improvement. I love him. He could still surprise me.
Yeah, once we get a basketball hoop set up at our next place, maybe he'll surprise us.
Yes.
All right, next question. What is the main thing you like to do on vacations? Before you answer, I think that this is a huge portion. We had this talk when we first started hanging out again. We went on vacation pretty early on in our reconnection, and I think that needs to be talked about more in when you're starting out a relationship.
Well, I think Love is Blind.
Yeah,
the first thing they do together once they get out is go on vacation together. Yeah. And you don't want to talk about what that looks like and how that might be different from who you are back home.
Yeah, talking about how you vacation, I think should be first date talk material. Because there are people that just vacation very, very differently, and luckily you and I are very similar. But sorry for interrupting you. Go ahead.
No, I don't like to do anything on vacation. I am here to be in a nice hotel. I am here to go swimming somewhere, probably. And I'm here to eat food. So that is what I want to do on vacation. If there is any sort of swimming, though, I am there for that. Mm-hmm. So I will do that. You need me on the ocean, I'm yours. But that's all I want to do. I'm not somebody who's going to go on vacation and be like, I planned an excursion for us, and then we're going to do a house tour, and we'll go walk the strip, and then we'll swim the next day, or we'll do 4 days at the park. I'm tired of just thinking about it. Mm-hmm. I'm here for time off. I want to chill. I want to watch cable TV that's not available in my area. Yeah. I'm here to do a couple big things a day. If you want to go to the aquarium or do all these things, I'm here to do kind of one big thing a day. Yeah. And then eat somewhere. And that's it.
Yeah,
I want to go to bed early.
I'm here to watch the Super Mario movie in Spanish.
Yeah. Our honeymoon was awesome.
I
think that one was in English.
Yeah,
I think it was the only one.
Yeah, the only channel that was playing movies in English.
Which is why we're so well versed in the Mario movie now. So, yes.
No, yeah, I was gonna. Your last point there. You and I had the talk before we went on vacation. Luckily, well, not luckily because we vacation the same way. You and I are both very much a one thing per day, and that's not an all day thing. Yeah. Again, unless you have this thing planned ahead, and if there's other factors like the kids, if you go to some place and you got a water park and you're gonna go and do the water park or the amusement park all day, sure, okay, that makes sense. But normal vacationing is, I'm going to go walk the aquarium for 2 to 3 hours, and then I'm going to go back to the hotel room, and I'm going to order room service, and I'm going to lay in this big bed with way too many pillows and way too soft a comforter, and we're just going to hang out.
Yes.
And
swim.
Yeah. One thing a day is kind of my maximum. unless it's talked about ahead of time. Yeah,
Yeah, and I do think that's event specifically. Like amusement parks, you're not gonna do for 2 hours, okay, man. But don't
how'd
we
you
have to
enjoy?
like,
How'd you enjoy your one ride?
yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, I'm not here to fill my day with
No,
stuff
not
and
on
as many
vacation.
things as I can. I'm just here to not be busy. So like there's people like that again in Love is Blind that will like go to do their vacation, or they're like chilling people and they get home and it turns out they're very like type A and like that's a huge shock, or like vice versa. You want to go do all these things on vacation and it's like I just want to hang out and get to know you, and then it's just you guys gotta talk about it.
Yeah.
It's important. I think it's important.
Yeah, I think it's first date material because like that, like to dream and wonder about vacations is such a fun thing to do. So if you can talk about how you vacation on a first date, I think that's a fun thing that you can talk about, good conversation to have, and then also that gives you an insight into again how they vacation, and I think that's a very impactful part of a relationship is how you act on vacation.
And how early do you get to the airport? Because I think that also is important.
Yeah, I'm a chronic be there 6 hours early just to make sure that we're at the gate.
I'll take a nap.
Yeah.
But I'd rather be napping there than like at home and
sleeping in my at home bed and then trying to rush through security when you have 15 minutes to catch your flight.
Yeah.
Grow up.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, the people are dying to know, were you popular in school? And if so, what made you popular?
This is such a good question. I think you can tell by the magic and games that I talk about that I
Friday
was,
Night Magic?
in fact, very popular in high school. No, I think something that was kind of unique to me and my friend group, we kind of floated throughout. And I think that that's very unique. But I think that's something that we did a lot of, is we would kind of mingle with the popular kids one week and like hang out whatever, and then the next day we'd be hanging out with whoever, and then it'd be like we'd be playing hacky sack in the front yard of the high school with the burnouts, and I really enjoyed that. You got to meet so many people, talk to so many people, and I think that's part of why I am kind of the way I am today, where I'm like kind of nice to everybody. I like being liked. I don't think people don't like being liked, but to like make it a point to go to the different groups of people, like at work you have all your cliques, and to like inject yourself and kind of hang out there for a bit, and then go to some other place and inject yourself and hang out there for a bit and get to know everybody, and there's something to be said for that. But no, I was not popular in high school. Me and my friend group were kind of the edge, and I was the edge of that. I think I was just kind of included there because that, if you've been listening for a while, the friend that I made when I was like 2, he was one of the head honchos of that group, so I think he was kind of like if I'm here, little nerd boy is also here with me. So I do have to thank him for that. But yeah, we just kind of floated, we existed, we got to know everybody. I think that was a lot of fun.
I love that. Good for you. A little social butterfly.
Yeah.
I'm going to say confidently that I was very popular in high school. And now I'm just going to wait and see if anyone from high school does message me. And it's like, we have some bad news for you.
We had 2 very different recollections of high school.
I did a lot of theater growing up. And I'm kind of how
kid too, sorry.
Some people would define quirky. And quirky doesn't fit in with everybody. I am not for everybody. And I think that that's fine. I'm happy to do my own thing. And it definitely doesn't make you cool. But, again, I was cool with most people. I would talk at most people.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I am the person that you can put in any room and I'm going to talk to somebody next to me. Yeah. But I definitely wasn't, socialing around very much. But I know I'll find a wallflower group of people. I like to find people who don't fit in, and that's my group of misfits.
Yeah, I think that's nice too. To see the people that don't have a quote unquote home and be the home for that group. That's very cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely the you want to sit with me at the lunch table kind of person.
Yeah. Can't sit here.
Yeah.
I did definitely remember that from high school for sure. And I remember my friend group floating through your friend group every now and then. And
yeah. Yeah, the boys definitely crossed over there more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is why they hang out without us sometimes.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It's cool. Don't worry about that. On to the next question. What risk would you take if you knew you wouldn't fail?
Again, I feel like we're getting into kind of like deeper questions. I think for me, like, this is all my creative pursuits. Like, I'd love to do like more theatrical stuff and voice stuff and writing stuff and art stuff, and it's all stuff that comes with a lot of failure opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely more failure than success in that, and that too.
Yeah.
This question is weird because it's not like if you had a higher chance to succeed.
No.
It's like if you knew you wouldn't fail. It's like, why not, like, I'm going to buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
If I knew I wouldn't fail,
Yeah.
I'm going to buy it. And now I'm a millionaire, billionaire, or whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
I won.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't love the way this question is worded, but I will play the game.
Yeah.
And yeah, the answer for me used to be content creation. And here I am doing it, and it's not that I know I won't fail. I think we're here doing this and watching the metrics on my other podcast, watching the metrics on this, watching the metrics on TikTok is all like not where I'd love it to be. But I don't think we're failing. And another thing that I think goes hand in hand, a requirement of failing in my head, especially for this kind of thing, is quitting.
Yeah.
If we're still creating episodes, if we're still making this for the kids, if we're still whatever, I'm still putting out silly whatevers on my TikTok, and I'm still doing the other project. Like, you can't call it a failure if it's ongoing.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
So it used to be content creation, and here I am doing that, and I don't have a guarantee that I won't fail. So I don't think I can say that anymore. But I'm the worst for it. As you can tell, I'm very monotonous. But I think voice acting would be a very, very fun thing to do. Like you, I don't want to steal your answer.
I'll let you have this one. I think I only took like 6 of yours tonight.
Voice acting would be such a fun thing to do, but also like video game creation. If I knew I had the time and could sit down and do a thing, and there's like this disconnect also between like AAA video games today and like a video game that one person can make. Because I think like the height of what you can accomplish as a one-person studio, I think, is Concerned Ape and Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
Such an exceptional game, and to still be
Stardew Valley.
And to still be helmed by only one person is wild.
That's the epitome of like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it myself.
Yeah.
Like everyone else is gonna mess this up. I will take care of this. If you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself.
Yeah, and when I picture like creating a video game, it's not that. So I know it's just a pipe dream. Like, my thing has the 3D graphics and the no loading screens and the blah blah blah, and it's like I think I would be much better be a video game ideas guy than I would like a video game maker. Like, if you set me down in a room with like 9 other people, and we're just like, we need really cool ideas for this video game set in this kind of whatever. It's like, I really love to think theoretically, this feature would be fun, this mechanic would be fun, this character story arc would be really cool. I'm just not, I don't think I'm as good of a doer as I would like to be.
Yeah. And again, yeah, if you couldn't fail, do the things.
Yeah.
So, good answer. I think this is probably our last one.
For sure.
So, in a fun ending here, what was an offer you couldn't refuse?
This is gonna be such a cop-out. Whatever, you can say what you want. Seeing you and reconnecting with you, I think, was, I saw you on the app that I saw you on, and then I like went home and I just like stewed on it for days, and I'm like, do I reach out, do I not reach out?
Crazy.
And then I was finally like, this is the chance. This is not a thing that life is ever going to be like, hey buddy, you want a 47th chance? I was like, I'm just going to do the thing. Yeah, definitely reaching back out to you, attempting to reconnect with you, I think was the offer that the universe gave me that I just could not possibly say no to.
You're so cute. I don't think it's a cop-out answer because I'm going to give a very similar answer. Whereas it was less reconnecting and getting back in touch with you because we were cool and hanging out and doing whatever. But when you asked like to kind of date me exclusively, like that was one of those, this is going to be the end for me, which was a really like, I had to internally be like, okay, are you there for that? Are you ready for that? Are you in the headspace for that and the right time for that? And it was the easiest answer because I was never going to get a better offer. I was never going to get a better person who I knew was going to commit to me in the same way. And so that was easy to do. So
that's very sweet of you to say. That means a lot.
Cut it. I don't usually slip those in there, so don't want anyone to think differently of me now.
It's just you, me, the viewers, and the wall you've built between us.
Yeah. So what a cute little ending there. But I think that...
Yeah, the universe definitely had its hand in... Yeah, it was that, showing that, giving us that opportunity, and...
Yeah. I always like to think they're like, both. All right, let's just start the snowball here, like cannonball for both of you so we can get where we need to go. Yeah.
Absolutely, shoot you down into the valley and then have everything you've ever wanted waiting for you there.
Yeah. Thank you.
Again, I think back to all the micro and macro decisions that brought us here, from dating in middle school to obviously breaking up and being apart for a decade and then coming back together is wild. Like everything that it took to fall into place, to be at the same place at the same time over a decade later is just like absolutely mind-boggling. And yeah, very cool to look back on. And
it's been a good ride.
Yeah, dream about and think about. Yeah.
I love it. Well then, take us home.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for wandering beside us. May your night be soft, your questions light, and your path aglow until we meet again.